So, I'm calling this one Planet Psychopathia because that is where we are living. I'm going to be going through some of the exploits when I was exploited by psychopaths. We're going to go through the nature that they have and hold, which is the complete antithesis of the nature that we have and hold. Okay, so let's get on it and crack on. As you know, as I've said, my father passed away when I was young. My mother got very lonely over the years, and when I was pretty young still, um, she met this charming gentleman, and he was charming, but he was no fucking gentleman. Yeah, I suppose you could say he's my stepdad. Long story short, he was a bestial psychopath. Okay, it's a certain type of psychopath that is extremely how the term and title sounds, wasteful. They are wasteful, very lazy. Okay, and this one was the king of cunts. um, yeah, first few months he was lovely to me and to my mother. More importantly, um, told me everything I wanted to hear, and her again. More importantly, um, I'll be your friend. You don't ever have to call me your dad. I'll never be him, but hopefully, I can do what I can to make you feel like there's someone there to work in his place. Come here, little fella. Just really kind, really sweet. And being a young child, I gave him all my trust, as did my mother. About 3 months in, completely fucking changed. Well, he didn't change. That's the thing. That's who he was. Who he come across to us to have changed into was who he truly was underneath. Okay, so there's the mask slipping, and then there's the mask being taken off. Okay, it's very hard to make a psychopath's mask slip, but it's very easy for them to take it off because it was all a facade. Okay, it was only you that believed that character was real. Okay, and just like how, as I speak of cosmic karma with the worshippers of Satan and his underlings, they the way they see it, well, showed you didn't see it, well, that's on you, innit? Psychopaths exactly the same way. Satan's a psychopath, you've got to understand. He's actually the emperor, cunts. So it tells you how bad this fucking piece of shit was to me and my mother. So yeah, 3 months in, as I say, started beating her up. He didn't used to beat me. He smacked me a few times, but like I wouldn't say it was a beat. That's not pride either. It's just I know that people have had it and do have it a lot worse. But it was more of a psychological gaslighting kind of torture and sadism. Like he would tickle my feet, which don't sound like much, does it? But if you've ever actually had someone grab you by the ankle, or wherever you're ticklish, and tickle you to the point where, you can't get out of it, it's weird. Obviously, it doesn't hurt, but it makes you feel, I don't know, mate. It's weird. Like it's traumatizing, almost like some sense of psychological rape because you can't stop them. and they are touching you without your consent. But I don't think it was a sexual thing with him. The point I'm making is you laugh, right? You laugh, especially if you're a little kid. You can't help it. Ooh, you're ticklish, right? How the fuck do you show someone that you don't like it if you're laughing and smiling? Because that's what it makes your body do. If you're not fucking enjoying it, I had tears rolling down my cheeks. Couldn't stand it. You do it all the time. You do it more, the more I couldn't stand it. This is what they're like, right? They do. I mean, I mentioned this in a part of the graphic novel that I've been working on for the past 4 years. Antagonist. I mentioned part of the. I mean, it's about a psychopath that has been created by. I suppose he's a proto psychopath that's been created by primary psychopaths. I won't spoil it, but part of his childhood was, and his invention was from psychological abuse, essentially. So there's a line in it where he says the worst kind of abuse is psychological because it's so subtle. You know, I haven't read it for a while, but in a way, it's the worst. In a way, it is because psychopaths that abuse you psychologically will do it in a way that where one you don't really think they're doing anything, and two, more importantly, no one ever fucking sees it because there's nothing to see. Okay, you don't see marks from tickling someone, do you? Right? There was I think you pronounce it fleur de lis. It's French for madness shared by two, like Rosemary West and Fred West, or uh, uh, what's her name, Carla Homolka, and that other prick. You get the point. There was one case of a couple like that, and they used to put the shoes of their son on the wrong way, so the left on the right and the right on the left, and so he's too young to know what the difference is, right? No one would have noticed. It's only when he grows up and he starts, he has a limp in both legs, and every single step he takes hurts him through life. See, this is how they think. They don't feel, and we talked about feeling and knowing, and the connection that opens up your sense of self, your sense of having a soul. They don't have that. Okay, they're already a coffin before they die and end up in one because they're already dead inside. You know, even even the maggots don't want to crawl in that fucking box. Um, yeah, everything's got to have a message. You know, as Charlie Manson said, leave something witchy. That's what they're like. You know, I'm going to put your shoes on the wrong feet so that every foot, every step you take in life will teach you just how painful it really truly is. See what I mean? He's beating on my mum one night. Must have been about 8, 9, and I just couldn't fucking stand hearing scream anymore. So I came out. Can't remember what I said. I was very young. I'm feeling very old these days. Well, not today. I went over. Phil did a bit of exercise, so I was still pumped from that. That's probably why I'm actually talking like I've got some life in me, rather than like I'm one of these fucking things for once. Um, Walked out, stood up for her. Probably saying like, "Don't you hurt my mummy," in my little East London accent, and you fucking what? Turned round, went to smack me. Right? We used to have these glass panes in the kitchen. Well, I think it was all the doors of the house, and he went to smack me. I ducked. His hand went right through the window of the door, and a shard of glass right into I can't really call it. That's the sound it made. You know what I'm on about. Not a good place to get a laceration. Next thing I know, blood pissing out all over the kitchen. Looked like ketchup. You know, I didn't know what was going on. Never seen anything like that in my life. You know, I was brought up on horror films, but this made all them look like kids' cartoons. Then again, that isn't saying much now, is it? This day and age. Um, yeah, he fell to the floor, and this is one of the major. Every story I'm gonna, I won't call it story. Stories aren't really real, are they? Every experience that I'm going to go through with you has a specific point to why I thought it was necessary to mention, because I don't want to just say, I've met this piece of shit and that piece of shit. You know, people get that, they get it mixed up too often, and psychopaths love that because all it does is give them a stronger invisibility cloak. You know, don't go around labeling everyone the same because most aren't. There's a higher population of them than the population lets on, but nonetheless, majority of the time you're just dealing with an arsehole. You really are. Um, so the main the main the main tool to take and put in your toolbox from this particular experience was that the moment that he was wounded, he was maimed, and I use them words deliberately, like an animal, right? They are. They use their reptilian brain, which on the opposite of not saying much is saying everything, yeah? But I've mentioned it before and I mention it again in the right topic of a video. Um, once he's wounded, once he's maimed, fell to the floor and was pitiful, absolutely fucking pitiful, looking up at me and my mother. Please, please, call an ambulance, please, please, don't let me die, please. I was a little boy, but he acted younger than I was, and he reached out to me. John, please, John, help me. And I just stood there, shaking my head. And I can remember even at that age thinking, what the fuck are you? Like, what are you? Because you don't act human, even if you look it. I just stepped back. I was just watching him. I know how evil that might sound, but trust me, um, the things he said to me sounded a lot more evil than anything I'm telling you. And the things he did were even more evil than the two combined. My mum got freaked out. She went, called an ambulance. He was saved. He was laying in the hospital bed. He wouldn't look us in the eye. He wouldn't look me in the eye. I haven't seen him since. My mum said she saw him. She said he was living on the streets. I'm not sure where. A couple of towns away, maybe. Yeah, there's one. So the point of that one being three. There's going to be three major tools to put in your toolbox today, and I'll mention any others that come to mind or come to heart. Okay. The tool of this one is their first weakness. They don't have many, but the ones they have, fucking flawless. If you get them, flawless. If you execute them flawlessly. I guess it's like any animal. I guess it's like any mammal. I guess it's like any human being on Earth, even the ones that pretend to be. It's just the threat of their own life, losing it. They've got no problem taking it from someone else. But when it comes to them losing theirs, fuck me, mate. They turn into a little toddler. They really do. You know, even Ted Bundy, you know, as slick and slimy and sludgy as he came across, as soon as he saw old Sparky, as soon as he saw that chair and they started dragging him towards it, he was dragging himself back. I think he might. I could have got this wrong. I believe he even urinated himself out of fear. So it's the only thing they do fear. It's all about. It's all about them. They're the center of their own universe. You know? So fear. If you can find out what their fear is, and as I say, it's always going to be based on them losing something. Obviously, their life's going to be the most drastic loss. But that is a major one. That is a major one. You know, like you and I have dignity and honour. There'll be things that we'd be willing to die for, maybe even kill for. You know, they don't have that. They don't understand that. It confuses them, gives them a fucking headache. Okay, we're a migraine to them. Whether you're empathic or whether you're an empath, you know, it's not worth the effort to even try it and figure out to them. You know, one of the characteristics that I don't hear a lot of people mention, I'm trying to go for the ones that I haven't heard because it's easy for me to go through the fucking, you know, the checklist or the Stanford suggestibility scale or whatnot. I'm trying to teach you something that you may not have already been taught by other truth researchers. It's what I try and do in all my videos. Okay, some things I have to repeat that I've heard from others, but if I either give credit to them for me taking it to give to you, or I will try to explain it in my own way. You know what? Because I don't agree with everything that I hear or watch. You know, neither should you. You find your own way. Okay, very important. Um, as long as you don't follow their way. It's called psychopath for a reason. Okay, because they have taken a different path. Okay, yeah, it don't fucking lead anywhere though. But that's how they want it, because they would never turn around and look back up the path and retrace their steps. They live in the now, in the moment. Okay, and this brings me to the point of something that I haven't heard others say before. Whereas I think it should be mentioned the most because it's another chink in their armor. You know, um, yeah, they they have such a low spurt of effort in them that they're the kind of people that would like pick up an instrument, right? They'd never be able to play something that, you know, that they've taken out of their mind's eye because they have no creativity. There's none in them. So pick it up. It'd never be something that they're just doing on the spot. It would have to be a song that not only they know but everyone else does, right? And then they learn it, whatever the fuck that is, or whatever. As soon as they've done it, they go, and they never fucking pick it up again. They don't, because it's almost like a DNA. It's almost like a DNA strand. Okay, the way the two spiral. So the two elements that will stop them from ever learning is one, their narcissism. Okay, their grandiosity. That's one part of it. Okay, because it tells them, well, if I can play that one song, I can play any song. I don't need to do it. I've done it. It's done. They don't look back. Like I said, they don't dwell. So it's just like, there it is. I've done it. What's next? Okay, constantly, always moving forward. There's no present to them either, because of course, the present every second becomes the past. So it's irrelevant. It's irregular. Yeah, the grandiosity is one strain, one strand. You can say it's arrogance, it's narcissism. It is, but it comes down to grandiosity because they have a god complex. Okay, so why the sheer act of trying to do something and get better than the last time you did that act breaks their own ruling of being a god. Do you understand that? So they're not going to do it. Okay, no matter what that thing is. I just used an instrument. Just use my bass as an example. It don't matter. They try it. Even if they fail, it's like, yeah, but I did it. I've done that now. Done. Yeah. The secondary strand is hang on a sec. So, actually, no, sorry, they're the two. They're the two. That's it. Yeah. So you've got the grandiosity, and then you've got the insecurity of of um, contradicting the first strand of grandiosity. They're the two, and they're constantly spiral. As I say, never ending path. Okay, so that is their life, if you can call it one, because they don't feel alive, which is why they constantly have to find the next high. They're sensation seekers. Okay, and every fucking time they put you down, it puts them up. Okay, now not just in the way of um, yeah. Sorry, I was just hitting the head quick. Um, yeah, it won't just be in the sense of lesser magic, for example. As I said before, all magic is hacking someone or something. So you can hack a person easily by I'm saying it's simple. I'm not telling you to do this. I wouldn't, because I do unto others. I wouldn't want someone to do that to me, and they fucking have. The majority of the cunts I'm talking about are the ones that taught me indirectly how to teach you to shield yourself from it. But an example of magic would be, well, just putting someone down. Just give them a little bit of bullying. Okay, especially if they're around their mates. Not, it's all right. There's your mates, but that's easy pickings because they're your friends. They're going to laugh at the one that isn't, right? A friend of you or them. If you show them up in front of their fucking mates. All right, I take it back. You can do this if they do it to you. Okay, for a bit of equilibrium. But you shouldn't have to. You're better than them. You're better than that. You show them up in front of their mates. Well, that's a whole nother fucking. It's a whole nother animal. Okay. And what that will do is put them down, and you will automatically be put up by proxy of how you've made them feel. It's how it will make you feel. You'll get a little smirk, okay? Yeah? So we'll talk about that smirk. That's pride, right? With psychopaths, it's pride on crack to do that to someone, okay? They not only feel better, I won't say emotionally, Because all they feel is rage and hate. That's it. Rage, hate, confusion, and fear, but only when their life's at risk. That's as far as it goes. Look up the reptilian brain. Eat, sleep, fuck, kill, repeat. It's just. Yeah. Sorry. I'll wake up in a minute. It's because I let too much out too quickly. That's what she said. So, yeah, I've noticed this often, and you will too. You watch any, got it. You watch any interview with any psychopath, not serial killer. Don't make the mistake of thinking they're all the same, because they're not. They're not. But any true psychopath, you watch the way they talk. Most of them will use disfluencies, as I've mentioned before. They will. I do this, so I should probably watch out telling you. But the kind of, well, I suppose I feel this way about it, but then again, all them ums and ahs and all that, it's just giving them time to conjure up more deception to deceive you with. Okay, so they'll do a lot of that, but the main thing, after they've done that, you're going, oh, really? Yeah, yeah. The moment they can see that they've got you, that you believe them, they'll get this little, it's like it's more of a twitch than a smirk. Okay, but I don't know if you've ever done ecstasy, for example. You burn, you get that. You can't control it, can you? Okay, it's just synapses in the brain firing off. Same thing. They get this rush of adrenaline, shoots straight up to their to a certain part of the brain. I can't remember exactly what it's called at the moment. It's been a long time since I got back into psychopathy. This was early days, but I thought I'd make a video on it nonetheless. Just more tools for the toolbox. So yeah, it's addictive. It is addictive. Like it will. They have an addiction to adrenaline. Okay, which is why they will constantly do it, because people say, well, don't they get bored of it? Fucking people up all the time. Even if they don't get caught, it must get boring. Well, to them, it isn't, because it's just another shot of heroin. It's another line of cocaine. It's another ecstasy pill pop. It makes no difference. Yeah. So, fucking hell, now I'm doing it. um, yeah, it makes them go, and they try and control it. The teeth grind a lot as well. Sometimes you'll notice their teeth go. You'll hear it when they're talking. Most creepiest attribute that I know they do, but it's one thing to be told something like this. It's another thing to actually see it, watch it in action. Pardon me. It's called scanning or cold reading. Okay, so what they do, say you've met one before, and you bump into them week after meeting them, maybe in the pub or something, having a pint. Bump into them. How you doing, mate? You all right? Yeah, did you recover from last week? Did you? They'll look at you, completely dead in the eyes, and their head will just drop to the bottom. They'll do it a lot faster than this, but I'm trying to show you in stages. Look at you, it drop, and then they will scan you all the way up to meet your eyes again. And what they're doing in their brain, if you watch carefully as well, their actual eyes will go. It's the most fucking creepiest thing you'll ever bear witness to, right? When they're doing that, what they're doing, they're going, oh yes, I said that to him, yeah, oh yeah, and then he said that back. Oh, I've got to remember to mention that. Yeah, I told him I was that kind of person. Oh, that was a hobby that I mentioned as well. Oh, don't forget the habit that he said he had the same one of, and that's why you'd be connected. Oh yeah, and you told him his name's you told him that your name's Bob. And then they're there and they go, hi, and they turn into the person that you met. It's fucking alien, isn't it? And I don't like that word because I believe it's another psychological operation. Okay, as I say, just my opinion and from my experiences, all ghosts are demons, all aliens are demons, and to be honest, all psychopaths are fucking demons as well. All cut from the same cloth, like I always tell you. Okay, there is only one. It's true. Yeah, it's fucking weird. All of a sudden, ding, and they take on that role. Okay, and then when you fuck off, they take the role off again. Other characteristics. Not all of them, most of them, very high levels um, of testosterone. So they sweat a lot, therefore they stink a lot. Um, if they're female psychopaths, because of the fact that they are expected to act feminine, they will be bathing and showering all the time, maybe even a bath and shower every day, both in a day. Yeah, it's just to hide the pheromones, really. Um, I should have done one video about the traits and one video about the experiences. Really, I've sort of moulded it all in together, so it's probably be another hourly long one. But please feel free to take a break. Um, I'll just continue. There's too many part 1, 2, and 3s to my work at the moment. Pisses me off because I think it looks like I'm trying to make clickbait, and I'm really not. It's just because my fucking Screen-O-Matic costs so much to sort out, and if you don't sort it out, you've got to stick 15 minutes, which is kind of all I'd want, like, as in little bits, as like, anyway, because I don't want to overwhelm people. You know, just by the time, it's not, oh, you just couldn't handle the information. There's most of the people that teach me and have taught me are light years away in comparison of intelligence and intuition than I have. Um, but nonetheless, I digress. And, yeah, and he does it again. They will have a very reptilian touch to them, way of feeling you. Okay, people think it's going to be violent, and no, they're trying to manipulate you, but they're trying to get under the skin, forgive the pun, a lot more than just manipulating, the face that's attached to it, because that's all they can go on, your emotions. They practice it in the fucking mirror. They've been doing it since they're children. They've had to survive. In that sense, I pity them. I pity them anyway. But I mean, that's the only bit in the sense of like a callous unemotional, as they call it. But it is a psychopath, a young child version. I feel slightly sorry for them because it's almost a deformity. They don't see it that way. They see it as like the next trajectory in human evolution. They truly believe that as well. Okay, so the same as Satan, they'll use lies mixed with truth. Like, to back that point up, they'll use, and it is a truth, that a psychopath would be a lot more fearless when it came to what? Running into a burning building, say, saving a mother and their child, and someone that didn't have that disconnection and misconnection of emotion, like you or I, you might hesitate. So it's a truth that they wouldn't as much. But of course, that's laced into the lie, being that they wouldn't give a fuck. So it just wouldn't happen. Okay? It would have to benefit them in some way. They don't do anything for free, even in prisons. The way that the wardens and the penitentiary officers have to keep them from sticking their fucking fingers into everyone else, probably physically as well as metaphoric, when you're in pen. The way they stop them is the same way you'd stop a fucking child from playing up. Behave. Stop pulling your sister's hair, and give you a cookie, right? And that's what they do. They give them money, or they give them privileges. They're all they are men and women growing older. So immature, so fucking immature. Wonder where they got that from. See, as I've mentioned before. Yeah. I'll throw you out a couple more experiences and then a couple more traits. We'll just mix it all up. Big bag of ideas today. Okay. So, as I may have mentioned before, I do have a son. I've only seen him once. Okay. I had a bad relationship. When I got out of it, I went out with a mate, went clubbing, met this bird. She seemed alright. Got a number. A couple of days went by. I called her up. We met up. And she seemed very sweet. Again, appealing to your good nature. They love doing that. They play the victim as well. Something called playing the victim. Well, they've had such a hard life, As I've mentioned before, it's part of the war that's been waged on the heart. This is how they do it. Getting the factor out of you. You feel sorry for someone or something, and that's it. It got you. They got you. And then, like the fable, you know, when the kind-hearted person takes in the snake and gets bit, the snake says, "What? You knew I was a snake, didn't you?" Okay, they're playing on you, playing on your heartstrings. Okay, and they'll never stop plucking them until they snap. Took her to the pub, bought her a drink, getting to know her. Okay, I have never before nor since seen anything like this. Right, it weren't even a Friday or Saturday night. It was quite packed, but people seemed chilled. I think it was just a weekday. I got up, I went to Kazi. I come back. I don't know if she'd gone up the bar. I don't think she'd talked to anyone. I hadn't seen her do so. I don't think she did. I think it was just her energy. She had such a low vibration that I shit you not. Walked in, I sat down. How you doing? You alright? Drink okay? And she did this big smile and looked right over my shoulder. I turned round. All of a sudden, the whole fucking pub exploded with rage. Every single bloke was trying to blast each other, push each other into chairs, onto tables, over the bar. I swear, every single, even women, there was women in there obviously too, all fighting each other, everyone. It was like a Western bar fight, okay? People picking up everything you can fucking imagine. I'm sitting there like that, trying to fucking guard her. She's loving it. She's laughing her arse off. They have a certain, almost an extrasensory perception of bringing out the shadow from a person. Now, the shadow can be helpful. You can use that, okay? Because if you just lie to yourself, what happens is your shadow just gets blacker and blacker. Okay, you're always going to have a shadow. That's just how it is. The idea is to not feed it, but to allow it to feed you. It can help with creativity. Okay, don't hide your dark side. Just don't let it consume your light one. You know. But they do. They go straight to the fucking core, right? Of the rotten apple. And she did that in this pub, and it just erupted. Like I said, never seen anything like it. Right. Moving on. She told me I've always been a bit of a swan. You know, I've always just wanted a family, someone I can grow old with. Never split up with anyone in my whole entire life. Not once. I always thought, well, if I've chose to be with them, there must be a good reason. So, you know, I'm sure things will change. I've always trusted that. Um, About a month went by, I suppose. She ended up getting pregnant. As I said, I mean, yeah, it scared me. It scares any man, but not really because I always wanted a child, you know. But at the same time, it wasn't planned. So here's the kicker: as soon as she found out she was pregnant, she completely cut off all contact with me. But she didn't just fuck off. Okay. So as I said, some people just arseholes, right? She could have just fucked off. She didn't have to tell me she was pregnant and then fuck off. You see the sadism of it. And then on top of that, she told me exactly what she was doing. Because by that point, as I said, the previous, think of them like robots. And as we know, or as you should know, robot translates to slave. They are a slave to their own making and to its own making, if you know what I mean. But yeah, so think of it in the characteristics of a robot. I mean, they are almost the fucking batteries to the transhumanist movement in that sense, because that character had been rewritten by that point. Okay, that's why if you say to them, you know, you've seen an interview, the interviewer will ask the psychopath, why did you do this though? Like, what was it that triggered you to do that all them years ago that put you in this place and took away your freedom? And they'll be like, well, the person that did that was confused, or they'll never say, well, I was young and, you know, I just fucked up, or I just hated that person, it had to be done. They don't talk like that. That's a different person. That's already happened. Okay, that's not them anymore. It's not the same version that you're talking to, right? Same thing. So she's texting me saying, look, I feel nothing for you. I only got with you because she was from Lithuania. I should probably mention that. Because I always thought this was a cliche. She's like, I only got with you to have a child so I could live in the UK, and because, you know, I want to be a mother without having to put up with having a bloke, basically. And she told me all this. She messaged me all this, and was like, bye, gone, that's it. It was all a pantomime. It's all theatre, you know. Doesn't mean shit to them. Meant everything to me. Broke my fucking heart. Not her. I couldn't give a fuck about her. There wasn't enough time to develop a sense of love, but it all happened so quick, which is exactly how they work. But yeah, it was all planned. The whole thing really did a number on me. What broke my heart is not seeing this child. I still haven't had a test done. I haven't been able to. She fucked up at Lithuania, and every now and then she'll get hold of me just for an extra little, what they call the autoferal impulse or the autoferal response. See, I'll give credit where it's due. That's not mine. Okay, that is a scientific um, evaluation that Thomas Sheridan actually come up with that I learnt when I was very young. but it's entirely true. It's just that adrenaline kick. Every now and then she'll Facebook me. She's blocked me, but then she'll unblock it quick and just say, oh, I might be coming down soon if so you can see the kids. And then she'll block me again, and that'll be it. And just keep doing it just for that little, you know, extra hit. Quick fix therapy. Yeah, as I say, I've only seen him once. She only allowed me to see him once, and that was just after he was born. But yeah, I'm like, they'll do this. They try to set you up the same way a reptilian. Here we are again. Here we go. And I haven't thought about these ones. They're coming out fresh. The same way a reptilian will set up a human being as like a loose feeding coffee maker machine, basically, where they can just use you for a bit of low vibration. They're meant to be slit eyes. I can't do it. Unfortunately, I'm not one. Not yet, anyway. Unless I get that fucking vril worm through the eye. But I reckon this happened to these fuckers at birth. Because they essentially are reptilians. As Truth Dog would tell you. Because it's true. Yeah, I'm just like a fueling station, basically, for her. And all the courts are in the name of the woman, so until and unless this beautiful little boy grows up to the point where he wants to know the truth, and I'll be here ready to tell him like I'm telling you. Till then, I'm doing what I can do, which is fight for the kids. Probably one of the main reasons why I do what I do. At the moment, these videos are my children. And that's why I don't change them. I don't fuck with them. Don't re-edit them. Put effects on them. Or ask for you to like it or share it or subscribe to my channel. If you want to do that, you'll do it. I've never liked that. So if you like the thing, then just subscribe. Yeah, we'll like it. If you want to do that, you do it. If someone asks me to do it, maybe because I'm stubborn, I'm a lot more likely not to. Aren't you? Because the control factor of it, I don't know. Maybe it's just me. I'd love to have loads of subscribers because it would show me that I'm doing a good job, I suppose. But at the same time, if it's a low number, it's showing you that you're an acquired taste. It's showing you that you're not just picking up every fucking organic portal in proximity. It's the people that really truly are entwined with their heart and their mind, isn't it? There you go. I'm going off kilter. Sorry. I'll stop this at 1 hour, and hopefully I'll get all this in the next 10 minutes. I'll give it a go. Right. Come on, Sorrow. Get it together, Mush. Okay, so. Yeah. We've done the stepdad. We've done the ex-girlfriend, unfortunately. Ooh. Here's another. Yeah, right. One of my bird's mates had a mate, another female. Again, I'm trying to get some females in because most people don't. They don't, you know. They're a lot easier to catch out. I'll tell you that. Whoa. A tool from each one, right? Here's a tool for the toolbox from the second psychopath, which was also a secondary psychopath rather than a waste jewel being my stepdad. Okay. On it was fireworks night, Guy Fawkes night, and this was the night when. No, sorry, it was Halloween. How's that for a fucking scare? It was the night that she told me she was pregnant on Halloween. Ooh, right. Just before she told me, probably why she told me to shut me up, I used the one tool that is actually probably the most proficient. Exposure. You expose them. Okay? Think about it. It's simple Simon, isn't it? If everyone knows you're a psychopath, you can't fuck with them. They're not going to let you. They're just going to move away from you like your bad smell. They're not going to have it happen to them. So expose them. You don't have to kick off, just go, So everyone, I just want to make you aware that you are dealing with someone that does not hold or share or feel any empathy towards you. Okay, they've lied to me on several occasions, tried to manipulate me for their own means and ends. Expose them. This is something you don't even have to go that deep into it. You don't even have to go that far into it. They'll fucking run a mile. Just say, you don't even have to talk to anyone else. Talk to them. Just talk to them. Just say, I know what you are, and you know what you are, don't you? Okay, so turn around, fuck off. All right? Because I ain't having it, and trust me, I'll make sure nobody else has it either. Make yourself loud. Okay? Don't have to swear at them, nothing. But if others hear you doing it, you watch. You'll fucking cower, mate. They usually just disappear. Okay? Like my stepdad did. Like my ex-girlfriend did. Right? Yeah. So there you go. There's two. The threat of life doesn't mean you should go threatening them to take, that you're going to fucking murder them because that's their job. But what I mean by the threat of life is, I suppose, getting caught. If they get caught, they get put, you know what I mean? This day and age, what happens to people in prison, especially people, parasites like that, is worse than any American death penalty palaver. So, two different types of psychopaths there: a waste steal psychopath and um, a secondary psychopath. I'm trying to think of a better term because there is many. Oh, you also notice they'll have no one on their page. They have no friends. They might have a few family members, sisters, brothers. That's it. Her page was like a fucking tumbleweed. There's nothing there. Okay. Because yeah, they've got no friends because they're cunts, but that's not actually the reason. It's because they move on. Rolling Stone gathers no moss. That is them. That is it. And like I say, constantly moving, constantly going forward, never looking back. Uh, yeah. So yeah, she'd be a secondary psychopath. Um, this next one, as I say, is another female, full blown, full blown. I mean, the ex girlfriend one was the one that's affected me the most. This next one, I only met once, and not for very long, but it made an impression on me, as it probably will on you. So yeah, it was one of my bird's mates. We all went out partying, went clubbing, and all night this fucking ancestor of Lilith, this fucking Jezebel, she'd just watch you, right? Ah. Same as you tell them that they can't have they can't have something. If you tell a psychopath they can't have something, they won't kick off. Yes, I can. Yes, I can. Because that would, again, that's the strand, the DNA strand, one overwhelming the other, contradicting. They are walking contradictions, but they can't believe that because it breaks down their coding. So the same way, if you tell them they can't have something, if they was to kick off, like most people would, what do you mean I can't fucking have it? I'll do what I fucking want. Blah 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 blah. Blah. What they're doing, the fact that they're proving you that they're raising their voice, they're raising their behaviour. They won't do that because you're not worth it. And for them to do it breaks the coding that they're a god, because a god wouldn't need to do that, right? So instead, they just sort of lean back, turn into the essence of smugness, and be like, "Really? I can't have it. Okay, all right." And then you want to fucking get way away from them because whatever comes next is going to be like yeah, it's going to take your fucking head off. All right, walking guillotine, especially the women. Went clubbing all night long, watching everyone, cold reading them, scanning. There is a difference. Cold reading is because it's a cold meeting, they've never met you before. A scan, when they scan you, is because they have met you before, but they couldn't be bothered, or you weren't important enough for them to remember who they pretended to be with you. So it takes them a second. Again, just like a computer, where they have to load what you saved, same shit. They are robots. Reptilians are robots too. Therefore, they are robotic reptilians. Okay? Metaphorically, but you get what I mean. Probably have more respect for them if they were a fucking robot. And they didn't have a choice. They were built by us. They weren't built by us, mate. They were built by it. The he, she abomination. Yeah, every single person I smoked at the time, every single person that would pop out into the garden, because that's where she would reside most of the night. They do this. They love crowds because they just listen to everything, watch everyone, and take it all in and absorb. Okay, they loose feed, same thing. There's just so many. You know what I mean? It's scary. Um, and I went out for fag, and she was trying to convince me that I deserve more than what not my ex girlfriend, my current girlfriend. I deserve more than what she can give, and I should watch out for her. She don't trust her. I've seen her do this, I've seen her do that. All bullshit, all of it. Okay. Try and plant seeds. I walk back in, someone else will walk back out, like one of my other mates or one of my girlfriend's other mates who were all part of this group I've gone out clubbing with. They'd go outside, they'd come in, and they'd be all disorientated. They do another thing, here you go. They zap you. I call it the zap. Zoop. Okay? They gaslight you, and you see it with every fucking one of my mates. They walk out there, she'd say something. I didn't know what she said because I was in, they were out. She'd say something, they walk back in, and they'd be like this. Fucking zapped. Zing. Lucifer's bolt. You see what I mean? Yeah, they're very good at disorientating you. And it didn't really work on me because I sussed what she was. But it worked on a few of my mates. One in particular, it's more my girlfriend's mate. One of the sweetest blokes you'll ever meet in your life. Completely docile and pacifistic, even more than myself. And I don't sound it, but I really am. I really am. To my own suffering majority of the time, but there you go. Not one of these things. So yeah, she just ripped him in two. She really did. She took him out. She was snogging him for most of the night. And just when he thought, just like Satan does to his own worshippers, just when they think, fucking hell, this person really does love me. This God really is going to give me a place in hell. Make me one of his generals. Just when he was like holding her and kissing, he looked in her eyes like, this girl. She got up, went and jumped on someone else's dick, broke his heart. She had a boyfriend as well, this psychopath, and the week following, she told her boyfriend that my girlfriend, that this guy, our mate, came onto her. Was trying to coerce her and all this shit. So the bloke was after him. They love it, mate. Spinning fucking webs. See? She got me though. She didn't get me the way she got in, but she did get me. I went. I think she come in. She told me some boy had grabbed my bird's ass or something like that. I was drunk, quite drunk by this point, and yeah, and I was like, "Fucking hell, what? Where? Where's my girl?" And she's like, "The psychopath's like, oh, she's outside with me." So I come running out, you know, asking my bird what happened, and there was this metal guardrail, the bouncers keep people behind, and I went to jump over it, not thinking I'd had a few, you know. But I noticed she was staring at me, the psychopath, as I was trying to find out what happened to my girlfriend. I don't even know if anything did. I think it did. I think it was just some little fucking little rat, trying it on. Because she's a pretty girl. Encha, if you're listening. Um, yeah, she's just burning holes in me with these dead eyes. I know my eyes come across a bit dead sometimes, but I think it's just because of the work. Because as soon as I stop talking about it, I liven up, you know. But I'm starting to feel it with every video that I do. More humane, my humanity coming back to me. Um, Burning holes, and just as I got over, my eyes met this psychopath. So I don't want to name names. Try not to. They don't even have a fucking name. It's just another character. Might not even been a real name. I get over the bar. My eyes meet hers, and as I do, I just I was a dickhead. I was clumsy. I'm clumsy, and I was drunk. But I slipped and I smacked my head on the ground. When I come back up, I had this bump like something out of fucking Roadrunner. I'm pissing blood out of my head. Here's the point. Everyone's like, fucking hell, you're right, mate. Shit, here, I'll have a beer. Fuck me. After that, you probably need it. You good? You're right. Do we phone someone? Everyone's going fucking mad. My bird, baby, get up. You okay? Right? She's standing there, not a flinch. Nothing. Looking down at me. Not even that, not even a head to just nothing. You're not them, they're not you. Okay? Doesn't benefit them. It's a disconnection. We're toys. Who does that remind you of? We're toys to them. You see what I'm saying? We are. We're playthings. They'll all tell you that in every interview you ever watch. Yeah. Yeah, never saw her again either. Right, it's got to the hour mark. I'm going to stop here because I've been digressing a lot, and I will do my very best to cut it the fuck out without cutting anything out in the second part. Okay? So please stay with me, and I'll stay with you.